Goblin that ever lived is here with another comic book review special here. Click the link in the description. You'll be taken to my main review for the books that came out at the beginning of May 2013 on my Blugoblin X channel. Please subscribe to that channel, by the way, and please subscribe to my student, TheMtVernonKid, his comic book review channel. I am here to review the stash that I received from him and from Midtown Comics. I got a lot to do here, so let's see if I can get it done in under 15 minutes. We're going to start with DC. We're going to start with Gail Simone's The Movement, issue number 1. Gail Simone, Freddie Williams II. This was awesome. I loved this. I mean, the artwork is gritty and is grimy in some spots, and some of the people are, you know, the muscular details a little exaggerated, but for this kind of storytelling, I can live with it. It is really good. No longer outcasts, no longer misfits. They are the movement. This is the opposition of the Green Team book, which I'm not interested in that book at all. The Teen Trillionaires crap. DC can keep that as far as I'm concerned. But I had to check this out. I actually came close to I was gonna order it from my shop, but Chris beat me to it with Midtown Comics, and for that, Chris, I do thank you. But I'm a Gail Simone fanboy. I'm proud of it, and I will proclaim it until the end of time. I mean, Gail Simone is one of my personal favorite writers. She knows it. I know it. Y'all know it. But this was a very, very quaint and very nice introduction to all these characters. Now, some of these characters that are on the cover, they're not in the actual book. But the characters that we did get in here are very, very nicely done. The beginning is really dark. You know, a couple of crooked cops trying to, you know, bust a guy for drugs and then try to harass an underage girl. Really dark stuff, really dark writing. And Gail, you got quite a spine on you for writing stuff like this. This is a movement that's rebelling against the authorities and stuff like that. It was just an awesome beginning to a potentially awesome series. I can't get enough of it. I'm ready for more. Gail, I salute you, and I love you. You're a good writer. This was awesome. Can't really complain, and I'm not going to spoil anything about it. So, there you go. The Movement, number 1. Alright, next up, Thanos Rising, number 2. This is from Marvel. Jason Aaron, Simone Bianchi. Great stuff. This is a complete opposite storytelling of what we got in the first issue. In the first issue, we see the beginning of Thanos' childhood. We saw him born, and then we saw him, you know, trying to grow up. He had a pretty decent childhood, and he was afraid of killing. He wanted to be a nice guy. He wanted to get along with people. And here, at the end of the first issue, he experienced his first kill. And in this issue, he completely flips. Now, we find out in here that he loves killing. But he claims to do it in the name of science, but then we find out later on that he gets an enjoyment out of killing. This book right here was the true beginning toward the character development of the Thanos that we all know. Very, very nicely done. Thanos does some really sick shit in this book, and the ending, oh my god, I'm not even going to dare spoil the ending. Jesus Christ, just get that book. Alright, next up, this is part 3 of 12 of the Worlds Collide crossover. This is Sonic the Hedgehog number 248. This is from ARCHIE Comics. This yeah, it's on. It's on, all right. Wow. You know, for something that started from a misunderstanding, this was a pretty bitchin' fight. This was a really, really good fight. I really enjoyed it. Just simply, wow. Who would have thought that Mega Man and Sonic could really go? And to me, this issue, even though it's an issue of Sonic, the fight is kind of favoring Mega Man towards the end of the issue. I thought it was very nicely done. Couldn't get enough of it. To see Robotnik and Dr. Wily do an evil brofest, I gotta call Chris on that. Yeah, that was pretty funny. But just the stuff in here, Mega Man tries to when the fight's not going so well for either Mega Man or Sonic, then they start trying to use their brains. You know, Mega Man tries to lure Sonic into doing something, but they both come to a realization. They both think this simultaneously. I don't think I can take this guy. You know, Sonic gets beat up pretty bad. Mega Man gets tore up pretty bad in here, to the point where his plasma cannon, you know, his power blaster, you know, it's completely burnt out during this fight. And toward the and unfortunately, Robotnik and Wily get their hands on another Chaos Emerald. They're just one emerald away from having the whole set, which is not good. But at the end of the book, at the cliffhanger, Mega Man gets some backup, and Sonic's just got this look on his face like, oh shit. You know, it's just, this was good. I really enjoyed this. This was fun stuff, and you know, the misunderstanding is going to get resolved here very soon, but this issue right here, we got to see Sonic and Mega Man tear it up. Who knew Sonic was this good of a fighter? Mega Man could hold his own against somebody so fast. But it really came down to a battle of brawn and then a battle of brains, and I really enjoyed it. Really good stuff. Alright, next up from IDW, we got a series that I dropped because I was trying to save some money, but Chris found that out and he sent this to me. This is from IDW, Eastman and Laird's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Color Classics, number 10. Wow. First thing I want to say is I just love that cover. Now I've already read these stories before, back when I was really, really young, but I'm going to try to review this like I ain't never read it before, you know, just to be fair. But at the beginning of this book, we see Leonardo thrown through the window. I mean, reading this book, this takes the page right out of the first Ninja Turtles movie. But instead of Raphael, the one getting beat up by the foot soldiers, it's Leonardo in here. And they've even redone this story in the 2003 animated Turtles series. So this was a welcome treat. We got to see the return of the Shredder in here. We got to see the arrival of Casey Jones, who had an interaction with Raph. I believe that was done in a micro series that I didn't get from IDW. They also reprinted the micro series of each turtle, and it was in the micro series of the Leonardo one-shot where we saw Leo get confronted by the foot soldiers and got beat all to hell. But if you saw the first Turtles movie, you pretty much know the gist of what goes on in here. You know, Leonardo's all banged up, so the Turtles have got to rely not just on their ninjutsu skills, but they also got to think. They got to think with their heads as well as their brawn. And they use some clever tactics and ninjutsu tricks to get to one-up the Foot Clan as they try to sneak Leonardo out and get into safety. Very, very well done. The dialogue was great. The artwork was fantastic. The colorization fit very well. But the main selling was the action. And to see Casey Jones going mano a mano against the Shredder and actually hold his own was a pretty awesome feat in its own. I loved this book. I love this series. Of course, I've read these stories before, but to see them reprinted for a new audience with color, it's a welcome treat from IDW, and I thank you all at IDW for this. TMNT Color Classics number 10. Pick it up. Now we're going back to Image. This is number 2 of 68 Jungle Gym. In my opinion, this was not as good as the first issue. It's basically, you know, Jungle Gym babysitting well, sort of, you know, babysitting a renegade kid who's separated from her family. He gets confronted by a tiger. There's all kinds of zombie slashing in here, but the really big moment of the book was at the very ending. A hostage situation from a guy who would probably make Hitler piss himself. This was, well, I think that's a little bit of exaggeration, but I really enjoyed this book for what it was. Really can't go into detail about it because it's basically that's all it was. Now we're ending things with Dynamite, and I've got under 4 minutes to do it. Let's see if I can do it. We're going to start with Black Bat number 1. Black Bat number 1, Brian Bushiello and Ronan Cliquet. Probably butchered both those names, and I'm sorry. But this is the introduction of a classic pulp character done in a modern style. This is not really that different from Batman or the Spider. It's a hero who operates in the dark, who's not afraid to cross the line. He's not afraid of killing, but he's also got a little of a daredevil twist to him. He can't see out his eyes. His eyes are like blackened, but he can see in the dark. It's not quite like Daredevil's radar vision, but he can see in the dark. It's got that classic noir espionage style storytelling to it. I don't have any complaints about this either. Really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good stuff. I'm looking forward to more. Next up, we got Miss Fury number 2. Generic but bitchin' cover. Loved it. This is more of the same stuff that we got from the first issue. This is another classic pulp character brought back to a modern day time. To make a long story short, it's pretty much as awesome as the first issue was, but they got, now that some people have got Miss Fury working for them, because when she goes back and forth through time, she's in a time period now where she doesn't exist, yet she's there. She's got no name, no prints, no nothing. Like, she's basically a walking Jane Doe, and fantastic stuff. I really can't complain. And it's got some holy shit moments in here. Phenomenal stuff. Can't really complain. Loved it. And we're going to end this with The Spider, number 11. God damn. David Liss, Ivan Rodriguez. I do miss the original artist, but the artist we got in here was good. We got a new villain, the Lawgiver. You know, the Spider is still reeling from his humiliation from the Fly. You know, Richard Wentworth, he's just still just buzzing about that. God damn, I gotta get that Fly. Gotta get the Fly. But we find out about a new villain called the Lawgiver. He is killing cops, innocent civilians, and he doesn't mind killing innocent people just to get to the cops that he wants to kill. He finds out that the commissioner has been targeted. All kinds of bad shit goes on, but what really pushes it is that the Lawgiver has formed an allegiance with the Fly, who is the Spider's arch enemy. But it was near the end, Richard Wentworth, he gets found out that he is the Spider. But the cliffhanger, the very last page of the book, my jaw dropped through the fucking floor. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Just damn. Just damn. Well, that's all I got for this installment, everybody. I want to thank you all for watching. Please click the link in the description. Subscribe to my Blugoblin X channel and check out my main review for the beginning of May 2013. Don't forget about my student, TheMtVernonKid. I want to thank him and Midtown Comics for those books. Subscribe to me here. Follow me on Twitter, on Tumblr. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and until next time, I will see you all later.